Choo-choo. You don't want to be every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that while I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who coming to the list sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the court. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Starts like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're out the dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut you short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live, all 3 speakers go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckasher here with the Man Hour. Having a little bit of issue over here at Facebook.com, so my fault. I'm trying to get it fixed, trying to get it working, but it is what it is at the end of the day. And this is live, raw, uncut sports talk. I tried to be all fancy with the shit again, and bada bing, bada boom. It always, that's right, it always bites you in the butt when you try to do something that you're just not used to, right? Oh, that is the wrong button again. See, when you try to do fancy stuff, it doesn't always work for you. But it is what it is. Hopefully you guys are all enjoying some Man Hour here. I'm trying to go live. I don't know what is going on, to be honest with you. I just don't know. I'm trying, guys. I am trying. I'm trying. But this is, like I said, this is live, raw, uncut sports talk. Michael Buckasher, head over to manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page. Of course, check out the blog section as well. We are live every Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. East Coast time, right here at youtube.com. And, of course, facebook.com/manhour. But for whatever reason, like I said, it's messed up today. Oh, man. Got Katie Wilson in the chat from YouTube, at least. YouTube's working. What's up, Katie? Hope you're having a grand old day. Katie, if you want to do me a solid, grab the YouTube link, head over to facebook.com, click on the Man Hour page, and say, hey, guys, come over to Man Hour on YouTube, because Buck's an idiot. That would be the most gracious thing you could ever do to me right now, because I bombed it.
And now, Mike's Thoughts.
As today we dive into Mike's thoughts here, David Bakhtiari, offensive lineman for the Green Bay Packers, says, and I quote, "We are in a rebuild mode. It would be disrespectful to say if we're not after losing a Hall of Fame quarterback." David Bakhtiari has basically been on the stance ever since Aaron Rodgers trade rumors have been surfacing back in like March, right? He's saying, hey, we're in a rebuild mode. We are in a rebuild mode. So I got to thinking here, if you're really in a rebuild mode, David Bakhtiari, why are you still at Green Bay Packers? Why did you not get traded and shipped off the shit? You have not been healthy in 3 or 4 years, right? You are 31 years old. Granted, that is not old as an NFL lineman, but it's older. and you are eating up a huge chunk of the salary cap. So when I got to dive deep into the Green Bay Packers roster, yes, they are a very, very young team. The wide receiver core as a whole, the oldest player is 24 years old, and that's Christian Watson. They still have Romeo Dobbs. They have Jalen Reed, right? Very, very good guys. Luke Musgrave as a tight end is going to be huge for them. Still have a pretty good defense. Preston Smith, TJ Walker, Kenny Clark, Quay Walker, Rashad Gray, right? Jair Alexander. Very, very good defense still. Pretty good offense. Really the only thing that's, quote, rebuilding right now, David Bakhtiari, is Jordan Love. And yes, it is going to be a big transition to transfer from Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love. It was a big transfer from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers. But to say the Packers are in a rebuild mode, guys, this is kind of an asinine comment at the end of the day. I'm just going to be flat out honest. I think it is dumb that you think it is a rebuild. Because you basically have the same team that you had last year, minus Lazard, minus Randall Cobb, minus Aaron Rodgers, right? Aaron Rodgers hasn't been doing a whole much for you the last couple of seasons anyways. Alan Lazard he's a good receiver, but Christian Watson is better, right? Randall Cobb, good receiver when he was, healthy all the time, but I'd rather have a Romeo Dobbs, right? Mercedes Lewis, 44-year-old man himself. Luke Musgrave is a great addition. So stop all with this rebuild crap, because the Green Bay Packers, guys, they're going to be a pretty good team this season. Sleep on them all you want. But let's look at their schedule. Week 1, they travel to Chicago. That's a dub. Week 2, travel to Atlanta. That's a dub. Week 3, at home versus the New Orleans Saints. That's a dub. Thursday night, at home versus Detroit Lions. That is a dub. They could easily start the season 4-0. Then on Monday night, they do travel to Las Vegas. That could be a loss. We'll give them that one. Going into bye week here, they got Denver, Minnesota, and the Rams coming up. Let's say they split that 1-2 losses to the let's say the Vikings and the Rams. Okay, you're still pretty good. Then you have the Lions again and the Chiefs, and then this is how you end the season. New York Giants, dub. Monday Night Football game. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, dub. Carolina, dub. Minnesota Vikings, going to beat them at least once this season, whether it's early in the season or late in the season, and you're going to sweep the Chicago Bears. That's 10 wins. Chicago twice, Falcons, Saints. You're going to split with the Lions, going to split with the Vikings, going to beat the Rams. You're going to beat the Giants. You're going to beat the Bucs. You're going to beat Carolina. That's 10 wins, guys. 10 wins for the Green Bay Packers. This is not a rebuild mode. This is just a retool mode. This is I went from a Craftsman wrench to a Ryobi wrench. That's all it is. That's all it is. Face it. They're going to be just fine at the end of the day. Alrighty, guys. So I am still having trouble over here at the old Facebook page here for whatever reason. I don't know why. It just sometimes, it is what it is. And unfortunately, when you are live and you are raw and you are uncut, mistakes happen. And today, on the start of the show, I made a mistake. I forgot to go to streaming software instead of webcam. And, I made a mistake. My fault. So let me get this post out here. Made a mistake. Join us. Oops. On YouTube. Do-do. Bada bing, bada boom. And we are just like that. Just like that. Hopefully, some people come over from Facebook into YouTube. It'll be fantastic. So it is what it is, right? All right, guys. So today is Fact or Crap Thursday. We are going to dive into some Mac Jones talk. We're going to dive into a little bit of Todd Boyles talk. What? Imagine that. Brock Purdy is back in the news. Jets are the most improved team in the NFL. What? Or is it the Ravens? What? Yeah. I don't know. It is what it is. But it is fact or crap, guys. And simply put, we put a statement out there, and I decipher if it's a fact or if it is crap. It is that simple. It is that easy. And we are going to start with the New England Patriots and Mac Jones. Mac Jones says he is excited, quote, very excited to work with offensive coordinator Bill O'Brien. As you guys know, last year, Mac Jones took a little step back when he had the worst offensive coordinator ever in the entire NFL in Matt Patricia. Now, many people are saying, oh, Mac Jones is a bust. Mac Jones is trash. Mac Jones is this, this, and this, and this. Let's flash back to the rookie year when he had a competent head or offensive coordinator in Josh McDaniels. I believe they were a 10-win team. I believe, quote, the Patriots were rebuilding, and then all of a sudden they're in a wild card game versus the Buffalo Bills. Granted, they got their ass whooped in that wild card game, but rookie quarterback Mac Jones led them to the playoffs with a pretty damn good offensive coordinator. You can say what you want about Josh McDaniels as a head coach, but offensive coordinator, he is one of the best, if not the best. Now, put in Matt Patricia there. Yeah, right? Bound to happen. Coaching is a big thing in the NFL, especially coordinator positions, especially for a young quarterback in a sophomore season. Now, third offensive coordinator in 3 years, Mac Jones has arguably one of the best offensive coordinators in the NFL, again, in Bill O'Brien. So fact or crap, guys, Mac Jones is truly excited about Bill O'Brien being there. This is 157.2% fact. This is a fact. Bill O'Brien, the last time he was an offensive coordinator for the New England Patriots, they went to the Super Bowl. They went to the Super Bowl. Last time Mac Jones had a good offensive coordinator, he should have won Offensive Rookie of the Year. He did lead the New England Patriots to the playoffs. Of course he's going to be excited. Why wouldn't he be excited? Guys, Mac Jones could possibly be a top 12, top 11 quarterback this season with offensive coordinator Bill O'Brien around him. Take that into perspective. Mac Jones goes from playoffs to probably one of the worst quarterbacks in the league, right there with Zach Wilson. He is going to go right back up to his rookie level instantly, if not better. He is going to be like the target stock market. If you know, you know. Buy that stock, by the way. No financial advice, but buy it. But yeah, he should definitely be excited about Bill O'Brien. Just no question about it whatsoever. Mac Jones is a dog. Every time I hear like people dogging Mac Jones, let's not forget the New England Patriots were a rebuilding team, right? They moved on from Cam Newton. They were doing this. They were doing that, right? Hell, he didn't even start all season when he came in like week 3, maybe. It is what it is. I mean, he threw for over 4,000 yards. Last season, just under 3,000 yards. 14-11 touchdown to interception ratio. He's good. He's good. Stop it with that. Moving on. Take a sip of my Mountain Dew. Guys, what is your favorite pop? Well, what is your favorite pop? Mountain Dew, Coke, Pepsi, 7-Up? I grew up in the Midwest. We were an RC family because we couldn't afford the real Coke, so we got a off-brand, which is RC, right? I love it. Todd Boyles says that it is, quote, priority to get Mike Evans involved in the red zone more in 2023. So fact or crap, Todd Boyles has to get Mike Evans more involved in the red zone for the Bucs to be successful this season. Guys, arguably, Mike Evans is one of the best receivers in the NFL. Arguably, he can go to any team and be a number one receiver. Arguably, he instantly makes every team a playoff contending team. But Mike Evans has the Julio Jones syndrome in him. He is great between 20 and 20. Inside the 20, he is like a non-existent clown, right? He closes his eyes and say, I don't want the ball. Last year, 6 touchdowns. 6 touchdowns last season. He had 77 catches for 1,124 yards. In his career, guys, he only has 81 touchdowns. All of those touchdowns, sorry, I should say, let me do the math real quick here. 70% of those touchdowns are from 15 plus yards out. So basically, Mike Evans is a deep ball threat. Mike Evans is give me the ball and I'm going to run for a lot of yards and score a touchdown for you. But in the end zone, don't even worry about it because I'm not going to score. So factor crap, Mike Evans has to get the ball more in the red zone for the Bucs to be successful this season. That is a crap. Because the Bucs have been successful without Mike Evans getting the ball in the red zone as a result. Now, granted, they no longer have Gronk, but they do have a healthy Chris Godwin. They do have a healthy Baker Mayfield. They do have a healthy Russell Gage. They do have a healthy Cade Otton. They also have a healthy Rashad White, Chase Edmonds, Keyshawn Vaughn. They are going to pound the ball in the red zone this season. They have 3 really good running backs that like to lower their head and get those extra yards. They have Russell Gage, which he is a possessive receiver. He is not going to wow you with his speed, but he can wow you with his 6-foot frame, 184 yards, and jump out of a freaking gym. Now, he is fast. Like, don't get it twisted, but he is more of a possessive receiver. He's going to run a really, really good route and get open as he can. That is just the way he is. So, fact, Mike Evans doesn't have to get the ball more in the red zone for the Bucs to be successful. But it is crap. But it is a fact that he will find the end zone more because the Bucs are going to be more explosive on the offensive side of the ball this season with Baker Mayfield. Wrap your head around that. Baker Mayfield will be good this season. Sorry, Arthur Brown. Sorry, all you Baker Mayfield haters out there. He's going to be good. Face it. It is what it is. 49ers GM John Lynch says he is very, very encouraged after seeing Brock Purdy's first throwing session of the season. So, guys, fact or crap, Brock Purdy has to make a comeback right now. Has to be starter week 1 if he ever wants to start in the NFL again. So when we dive into the San Francisco 49ers quarterback issues, right, they have an issue of keeping quarterbacks healthy. They have an issue of keeping players in general healthy, right? Now, Brock Purdy right now is listed as a starter, but he has said it himself that he doesn't, quote, want to put a timeline on his return to put pressure on himself. That tells me the injury is a lot more extensive than everybody first thought. Why would you say, I don't know if I'm going to be ready or not if you truly don't know? This is OTAs. This is off season. Everybody is optimistic right now. Everybody is 0-0. Everybody's a Super Bowl caliber team. Everybody's going 17-0. So Brock Purdy say, "Oh, I'll be ready by week 1." For him not to say that, to be optimistic, that tells me something is really, really wrong. Now, he may have thrown, right? He may be able to pick the arm up and kind of lightly toss the ball. Well, many broken down quarterbacks, broken down adults in general can toss a ball, right? We can take a 3-step back, pop it up, and throw it. Nice spiral, nice easy throw. Put the pads on, put the helmet on, put some pressure on you, and let me really gun it in there. Then I'll tell you really how it feels. Guys, I'm going to go out on a limb and say right here, if Brock Purdy is not the starter by week 1, he will not start for San Francisco 49ers this season if Trey Lance stays healthy. Trey Lance is going to get his shot this year in San Francisco. This is a make or break year for Trey Lance this year in San Francisco. With that being said, when he is starter week number 1 because Brock Purdy is not healthy, Trey Lance is going to ball out of his mind. Trey Lance has to ball out of his mind for him to even be in the NFL anymore. Now, barring some crazy-ass trade with the Houston Texans, which could possibly happen, we'll get into that later, Trey Lance is going to be the guy in San Francisco. You can call Mr. Irrelevant, oh, he's amazing. He went 7-1. He did this, this, and this, and this. You're right. He did do this, this, and this. He did have an incredible 2022 NFL season. There was also zero pressure on that kid. Everybody can perform when there's zero pressure on you. Like, it just is what it is, right? Now, once the pressure starts to, come down on you, your butthole starts to swell a little bit. You just don't start to play as good, right? Oh, but Buck, he was 7-1, yada yada yada. He had two playoff wins over Seattle and the Cowboys. Yes, ass kicked by the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's look at those 5 previous wins in the regular season. Arizona Cardinals, they were not very good. 178 yards that game. Las Vegas Raiders, complete tank mode at that point. Hell, Derek Carr wasn't even in the facility. I forget who the quarterback was, but their quarterback did ball out of their mind. Washington Commanders, they were fighting for a playoff spot, yes, but the Commanders were a sinking ship. They were terrible at that point in time. Seattle Seahawks, you can call what you want. It's still a division game. He did go into Seattle, and he did win that game, yes. Then his second start of his career versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers were pretty much done at that point as well. The NFC South was the worst team in the NFL, right? The worst division in the NFL. And then opening his first start of the season, right? Versus the Miami Dolphins. Yes, that was a huge win. But the Miami Dolphins sucked that game. They were terrible. Terrible. But yeah, guys, get off this Brock Purdy hype. Get off of it. We're tired of hearing it. Brock Purdy did have a good 7, 8, 9 game run. It was great. It was fun to watch. But you know what? Ryan Fitzpatrick had a great 3, 4, 5 game stretch in Miami. Colt McCoy had a good 3, 4, 5 game sets in Arizona, right? Blake Bortles had a good run for the Jacksonville Jaguars 4 or 5 games in a row. Very few quarterbacks can sustain that success over the time. Brock Purdy will have too much pressure on him this season, and it just won't be a good look for them. Won't be a good look. Alrighty? Got it? Understand it? Moving on. There has been a top 10 list of the most improved teams of the 2023 NFL season. Top 2 on the list are the Baltimore Ravens and the New York Football Jets. They are the, quote, the most improved teams. So let me talk about this first most improved team, the New York Football Jets. They went 7-10 last season. This season was so weird for them, right? They had like 7 quarterbacks. Like at some point, they had Zach Wilson starting. They had Joe Flacco starting. They had Mike Longneck White starting. Like everybody and their dog was a quarterback at some point for the New York Football Jets last season. This offseason, they added Aaron Rodgers, 39 years old. Congratulations. They added McCole Hardman, that hasn't had a successful season in Kansas City with the greatest quarterback of all time, but whatever. They added Alan Lazard, right? Michael Carter will have another fresh off that trade from the Panthers too there. They also picked up Randall Cobb, right? They also had a few other pieces on the defensive side of the ball, but they're kind of minute, right? So let me ask you guys this question. The Jets went 7-10 last season. They did add a future Hall of Famer in Aaron Rodgers. They did add his favorite weapon, I guess you can say, Alan Lazard and Randall Cobb. They did add McCall Hardman, which I think McCall Hardman can be a good receiver in the NFL if he truly gets the chance. But they were 7-10 last season. So to be the most improved, you have to be a 12, 13 win team, right? You have to go from last in your division to first in your division. You have to win a playoff game. So let's look at their schedule right now. Open up with Buffalo Bills. That's a loss. Dallas Cowboys. That's a loss. New England Patriots. That is a loss. Then you play the Kansas City Chiefs. That is a loss. Then you travel to Mile High Stadium, arguably one of the hardest stadiums to play in the NFL, not because of the noise, not because of the travel, but the altitude itself. That is a loss. Then you play the Philadelphia Eagles. Week 6, that is a loss. Guys, the New York Football Jets could start the season 0-6. Now, realistically, they'll probably win a game or two there. But let's say they win two games there. Let's go on the high side of things. They're still 2-4. 2-4. That means they have to win out to be the most improved team in the NFL. Let's look at the schedule. Giants, sure. Chargers, sure. Raiders, sure. At Buffalo, sure. Miami comes to town, sure. Falcons, Texans, sure. But then you play at Miami, at Cleveland, at New England, at Buffalo. You lose one of any of those games, you are not a 13-win team. Guys, I can see 5 wins realistically for the New York Jets right now. 5 wins realistically. Over Miami, they might split with Miami. They should split with Buffalo. Might beat the Falcons. Might beat the Houston Texans. Both two really surprised teams. Watch out for them both. There's 4. And then maybe Washington. Maybe, because just because it's a home game. 5 wins for the New York Football Jets. They are not the most improved team in the NFL. They might be the most improved team on paper, but they're going to take the most steps back in real life. 39-year-old Aaron Rodgers doesn't tip the scale for me, unfortunately. Adding Alan Lazard, McCall Hardman, and Randall Cobb doesn't skip the tail for me. The Jets are going to be the worst team in the East. The Jets are going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL. The Jets are going to be trash. We out.